Welcome to Open Arms, an honest conversation about firearms. Hey everyone, I'm your host, Brian Lockerman. And I keep stressing this. Every time we go out, we meet more and more people. Every time I have people on my show, they actually introduce me to more and more people. And today, I got one of those people in my studio today. I got Cole Brocato in my studio. Sorry about that. Stumbling on your name a little bit. I was stressing on the Brocato, but I got it. Cole Brocato. Anyhow, he came in the studio and I think he wants to do some kind of hair challenge or something. What's going on with this, huh?
Hey, that long hair crew, we gotta keep the flow going.
I know. I always say to people, they always ask me, why do you keep your hair so long? It's back in the days when I was a musician and stuff like that, I had long hair, but I keep it long like this because I can still grow it.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends can't. So I said, well, you know what? I still can grow my hair. Might as well keep it a little bit long. Don't want to get rid of that last little bit. You know
No,
what I mean?
no, it gives us the edge.
I know,
Everybody's
man.
got short hair right now. I was an ice hockey player, so
Oh.
the flow looked good coming out of a helmet. So.
You're an ice hockey player? I
Yeah.
played ice hockey back in the East Coast growing up as a kid.
Oh, nice. I played juniors up in San Jose.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I was baseball, football, and ice hockey. That was the sports back there.
Yeah, ice hockey and football. Yeah,
Beautiful.
got 2 out of 3 with you.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
It's very cool. It's very, very cool. So, tell us a little about yourself. I hear some good things. You were running for office at one time. You're still dabbling in a lot of good political views and things.
Yeah. So I ran for the 38th Assembly District this last cycle. Lost, unfortunately. My ballot harvesting game wasn't as good as my opponent's was.
Yeah.
But we did really well, and we did a lot of good things for the party. Was on the platform committee this last cycle. I think what we run on as Republicans here in the state of California is really important. I think we have to remind our party that we are still Republican. We're not Democrat light in California.
Yes. Yeah. I
Um,
agree there.
we've got a lot of still good, strong support. I'm still involved with the local GOP. I'm a business owner here in Ventura County. I coach youth football. Lost my assembly seat, but I became the president of my youth football organization. So we're part of GCYFL. So I coach and I run that organization. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
a good thing. Gotta give young men a place to go, especially where I am. I'm over on the west end of the county, so I'm out in Oxnard, and I got a lot of kids that, as of right now, they would not consider themselves to be on college track. But I keep telling them that's all right. We still need blue collar work. We need
yeah.
kids that are gonna grow up and want to be mechanics, that want to work on
100%.
ships, that wanna do manly work. I'm a construction guy, so we
Good.
need to push those trades.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. You're absolutely right about that. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I appreciate you doing that. It's really good. So now, are you still running for office right now?
As of right now, I've not decided what the next path would be. There were some people that were having some conversations because my board of supervisors seat is going to be up in this next cycle, and the lady that's filling it was not elected; she was appointed.
Okay.
So we're considering.
Gotcha.
It's been really good what I'm doing right now. It feels like it's been very effective working this way with the party. Also, being able to be a dad. I've got 3 young kids, and it's a big commitment running for office. And I'm willing to do it again, but it has to be for the right office, and it needs to be something that we can for sure win.
Well, that's fantastic. Now that you brought that subject up, I know we talked about your views on the Second Amendment, and you are a gun owner,
Yeah.
and you're also a CCW holder. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct.
Now, I heard your wife is too, as well.
Yeah, my wife's a real estate agent,
Okay.
and she's all of a 5'3", 100 pounds soaking wet, and that's it. The 2A community knows that the Second Amendment is the great equalizer.
Yes.
We're big, strong men,
Mm-hmm.
but my wife is every bit as strong as us when she's packing,
Yeah.
and that's something that I push for women. Go get trained. My wife was not raised in a gun household. I was. My father was military. Grew up on a ranch. I mean, we were shooting about as soon as we could walk. My wife was not that way. and I took her out, I took her shooting, all those things. She fell in love with it, like most people. Was skeptical at the beginning,
Exactly.
then fell in love with it, and now it's 100% essential. She carries around our baby with her and will have our 4-year-old with her at the same time. And if somebody wants to walk up and try to take advantage of that situation, Mama Bear is going to protect the
There you
cubs.
go. There
And
you go.
so, yeah,
That's fantastic. I like to hear that. You know,
yeah,
that's great, and it's great that you guys took all the safety training to get your CCW too.
yeah.
Now, do you continue up with your practice and your training with your gun?
Yeah, as often as we can.
Perfect.
We've got great relationships. I was endorsed by all the gun stores here in Ventura County.
Oh, that's nice.
And yeah, there's some great ones. But we go out with Justin with VC Armory. Shout out VC Armory out there in
There you
Ventura.
go.
We go up to Santa Barbara with them as often as we can. We've got Shooters Paradise out there in Oxnard too
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
sidearm training when we can do it as often as we can. But yeah, you have to. It's like any other muscle.
Yeah,
I'm a gym rat. If you don't work out, your arms, they go away. If you don't work out that muscle
exactly.
memory shooting.
Exactly. So, what do you carry, and what does your wife carry?
So I carry a Springfield 9 subcompact.
Nice.
My wife, she's got the little Sig Sauer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I love carrying her gun
Yeah,
anytime that I
yeah.
can. It's like nothing. I used to
Uh,
tease her for it because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like a baby gun. But then carrying my 9mm around as much, and then get to carry hers every once in a while, I'm like, God, hers is so comfortable.
exactly. I know. I go through my phases too. I'll carry my 45, compact for a little while, and it gets a little bit heavy.
Hmm.
Then I'll switch to a 9, like a Bursa BCP P9 for a little while. And then I'll go all the way down to my Shield, my MMP Shield, my little baby
Yeah.
380, just to put in my pocket. I just do. It depends on the situation. Okay, so you have kids.
Hmm.
Let me ask you this question: Have you had the talk with them, or trained them, or talk to them about gun ownership and guns in the house?
Yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful.
My 13-year-old has been shooting for several years now.
Nice.
And again, they're going to be there. They're tools. I talk to them, and I try to explain that as well. I'm in construction. I have saws, power saws,
Hmm.
sawzalls, all
Hmm.
those things around, and I have to be safe with them and smart with them. But I also talk to my kids about them. These are daddy's tools, and my guns are the same way. They've got to be locked up. They've got to be, kept responsibly. But
Perfect.
also talking to my children. No, no, no. Dad's gun is always loaded. It is always dangerous. It's never to touch.
There
And
you go.
just like Dad's saw is always plugged in, it's always dangerous. It's never to touch.
Hmm.
And when
Hmm.
you kind of explain that to people in those terms, they go, oh, yeah, I get it. Because you're going to
Exactly.
tell contractor, you can't be a contractor, you can't keep
Yeah.
tools in the
Yeah.
house.
It's nice to do that because there's a guy that has a training facility out in I think it's Maryland. It's on the East Coast. He did a phone and call for one of our shows. He works with kids, and he uses this thing called the land shark thing, and he talks about copperhead snake. Just has things that they can actually relate to,
Yeah.
but it's talking about things like firearms and things like that.
Yeah.
It's situational awareness is what he teaches them too in school, which is fantastic. And backtracking a little bit, when you said that your wife never shot a gun, you took her out there and she fell in love with it, she just was all about it. I can tell you this right now. I have probably had hundreds of people that have come to me and said, I hate guns. Guns are evil. And I tell them, I said, look, give me one moment of your time. Let me take you through some safety training. Let me take you to my range, have a day of shooting, and let's have that same conversation after it's all said and done.
Right.
There's not been one person that said, I still hate them. They're evil pieces of machinery and they kill people. Nope. Ever
Yeah.
said, oh,
Not as many as cars do every year.
yeah, exactly. And they go, it changed my view on guns. I had no idea that shooting a gun would be so much fun. First of all, I'm not saying it's for everybody, but learning the safety behind it and learning, the do's and don'ts made a difference.
Yeah. It's a tool before it is anything else. And it is something that there's a reason why our founders put it as the second thing
Exactly.
when
I
creating
know
our
it.
country.
I know.
And it's something that with the lockdowns, with everything else, I mean, if that didn't open people's eyes to why your right to keep and bear arms is so important, tyrannical government can come in
Oh yeah,
at any time. Tyrannical neighbors can come in at any time. You never know.
that's true.
And it is a fundamental right to be able to protect yourself and your family and your home. I mean, it is as foundational as you can get.
Well
And
said.
it's there is no such thing as an evil gun. There is no such thing as an evil machine or piece of
Hmm.
machinery, but there is evil people.
Oh, 100%.
And an evil person is going to hurt people, or they're going to obtain guns illegally. Look at the states like our state here in California. We've got the strictest gun laws in the country, yet we have more gun crime than most any other state.
I know it.
So, and it's not just because we've got a higher population. It's because criminals are going to criminal.
Oh, of course.
And so the best thing is to, when you have a well-armed citizenry, when you've got people that can protect themselves, people that don't act like victims, they interviewed criminals. Hey, how do you pick an easy target? Well, a target will act like a target.
Exactly.
When
Exactly.
when you've got people that are confident, that carry themselves with confidence, that look well
Yes.
together, that look like they're situationally aware and that they're not intimidated or scared, I don't want to mess with those people. I'll leave them alone. I'm going to go find a softer target.
100%. And we have a guy who does that situational awareness classes for us. And I stress on that.
Yeah.
And another thing, what you brought up too about, being easy targets. If you did, we have a PSA that's on our website right now. It's about high capacity magazines, how that law doesn't work.
Yeah.
But I show the thugs, cruising a neighborhood and finding the easiest target, and that's what they do. They see the house that's not lit, that easy entry, easy exit, things like that. And that's exactly what they do with a person too.
Yeah.
They see who is vulnerable, who can I rob, who can I, but if you are paying attention and you walk with confidence, you have this situational awareness, you're not going to get, affected by that.
Yeah. I also think that we need to start being good neighbors again.
Oh man, that is for sure.
Yeah.
I grew up back in the East Coast, and I grew up in a cul-de-sac. Everybody knew everybody. Everybody helped everybody. We had barbecues out with everybody, all the families. If one neighbor needed some help with plumbing or a roof or something like that, we were all there to do it.
Yeah.
I grew up in a cul-de-sac out here in Westlake Village. Quiz me and ask me if I know the names of my neighbors.
Right.
Yeah. It's like I try to.
Yeah.
I tried. Hey, how's it going? like, okay, you have a wonderful day too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, what is the deal?
Yeah, people, we've become disconnected. It's why you see people get mugged in the street and nobody steps
Oh,
in to
yeah.
help. Nobody intervenes anymore. You don't. If you won't go meet your neighbor, if you won't go talk to the people on your street, if you don't get involved in your real local community, why would you do anything for somebody that you've never seen or
Exactly.
whatever? And it's too bad. It's societal rot and it's setting
Uh-huh.
in. I heard something. I think it was Glenn Beck maybe that had said it. And he was talking about taboos and why taboos keep society in line, because we know there's certain things that are not accepted by society. You don't steal from somebody. You don't hurt
Mhm,
somebody
mhm.
weaker than you. You don't attack the elderly. You don't disrespect your elders. I mean, all these things were things that I was taught as a kid. They weren't laws, but they didn't have to be, because we knew societally if you did those things, everyone was going to reject you.
Yeah.
Everyone was
Yeah.
going to hate you for it. And now you just have the blinders on.
Exactly.
Nobody pays any attention to it. All the taboos are fine. It's strange, and we don't raise our kids that way in our household. We're very, very structured when it comes to that stuff. Our kids are going to understand. I hope more people are doing the same thing, because I'm a lifelong Californian. I've got no intention of leaving, but man, this state,
I know it.
they
I
are
know it.
they are throwing us out.
Yeah, I agree there. I mean, I do appreciate you being that type of family man with your kids, because that's one of the things on the show too. Family values. We got to try to get that back.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, really.
And it's up to us. We
is,
have
it
to
is.
get it back. There is going to be no legislating it back.
You're right
You
about that.
cannot legislate morality. You have to be the ultimate one. I had a shirt that I wore my whole campaign season. It said, "I do not co-parent with the government."
There you go.
You're in charge. You're the boss. You are the steward of your child's life until their father calls them home. And that's what it is. It's our job to raise the next generation to be better. And
Good man. Listen to his words. They are
Uh,
good words. I tell you. Thank you. I appreciate that. You also were talking to me that you see what's going on in the state of California, and apparently there was something passed just recently.
oh yeah, so the transitioning your kids bill just passed committee. It passed with an 8-1 vote. I think it's 957. I believe. I'd have to double check that on you. Um, but what it did is it would make it to where if you're a parent and your kid comes home one day and your 10-year-old decides to say, Dad, I know I've been a boy, but I think I'm a girl. And if you turn around and say, no, Billy, you're a boy, then the state of California can go after you for child abuse. And you can potentially lose your children. You can be jailed for not affirming their gender identity. And if you don't believe that that's possible, if you're hearing this and you're like, yeah, that's too crazy, they already passed it in Canada. Parents are already going to jail for it in Canada right now.
Okay, cool. Now, how far is this bill?
So it just passed through committee. So now it'll go to the General Assembly floor. And if it passes there in the General Assembly, it only has to pass through the Senate, and then Gavin Newsom can sign it right on into law. So
How can we help then to put a stop to this?
So call. There are still some moderate Democrats. It is a super majority in the assembly, and it's really hard to knock these things down. But make your voices heard.
There you go.
Email your assembly member. Call them. Their phone numbers are posted. Get involved with them. I tell everyone, hey, ask nice. You turning around and threatening somebody and screaming at somebody, it's
Never
not going to
works.
help anything. It's
Never
just going to
works.
make you look bad.
Mhm.
But put it in writing if you can. Send emails, and make phone calls. And the more pressure you can put on them, all it takes is enough of them to not want to push it through, to where this thing has to get rewritten, and it's the delay game. Delay it until enough people forget about it and doesn't pass through. Because otherwise, the other side of this argument will be louder than you, and they will push it through. So do your
Yes.
part.
Everybody, seriously, do your part. If you're not in agreement to this, let's get it. Let's fight for it. Let's get it out of here,
Yeah, I mean, for as bad as things are in California, there's a lot of bills that did not make it through the assembly because of the pressure that we put on. Things that were tabled until a later date. Those sort of things happen all the time. So don't lose hope. Don't turn around and say, "Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't whatever." Do your part. Do your part. Takes a couple of minutes. Do
Yeah.
your part.
We have to have a voice. You have to have a voice. Everybody has to step up to the plate.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, you'll
makes a
you'll
difference.
never win the argument that you don't have. So at least get it out there. Let them know. I mean, one of the things that was the most disheartening for me is I hear about how there are no conservatives in California anymore. I hear it from everybody all the
Yeah.
time. And yet I don't go out seeking them, but I find conservatives everywhere in my
Everywhere.
neighborhood.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. It's just that we're quiet.
That's it.
We don't make any noise about it.
That's it. That's what I was telling a couple of my other guests, and that's been on the show. I thought I was all alone, and they just it keeps coming out of the woodwork. I think we're getting more vocal now too.
Yeah.
We're starting to get more vocal and starting to speak our mind. People have been so afraid because I might lose my job, I might do this, or they might hate me, or something like that. Now people are starting to say, okay, enough's enough.
Yeah, we found our voices, we found our gumption.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, very good. Any future plans of running again?
So it really just depends. Like I said, there is a board of supervisors seat that is going to be open in my district. The lady was appointed because her predecessor tragically passed away. Actually,
Oh wow.
so she was never elected to the position. She's going to be on the ballot for the first time this upcoming cycle. So people have been asking me about that. I'm not 100% sure if that's the direction that I'm going to go. Like I said, working on this end, working with the party, helping with the platform, helping do those sort of things has been it's been a good direction to be going in right now. But it's not my plan; it's God's plan. I wasn't planning on running the first time. It was one of those things that it happened. The path was there. I'm glad that I did it, and I would gladly do it again under the right circumstances.
Well,
So.
if you do, you let us know because we'll help push the word for you for sure, 100%.
Oh, awesome! And like I said, anytime you need a voice, and I'll definitely be introducing you to some other great voices here in this area
Nice.
because Ventura County's got some movement going on. We're
Yeah, you're right about that.
a conservative majority in the first time in forever in our board of supervisors. We hold several city councils. We're doing really good. We're moving in the right direction.
Good,
So I think
good.
things are turning here.
Perfect. Well, sounds amazing, Cole. I really appreciate that, everything you're
Yeah.
doing. It's great. I mean, I just love hearing. I mean, the thing about you, you're a working man, family man. and you're putting yourself out there to make a difference.
Uh,
And a lot of people won't do that. They get lazy about it. Oh, I don't want to do that. And then all of a sudden they pass this bill or this law, and they're like, what? You know? Well, it passed because we didn't step up enough,
yeah.
and we got to start doing that.
Yeah. I'd rather have the fight and lose it than
Exactly.
not have it at all.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Well spoken. Well, Cole, it's been a pleasure. I mean, I really like having you on the show. I think there might be some more things I'd like to bring you in to discuss. Now, one more time for the audience, what is that bill that they should look out for? Just passed.
I believe it's 957 AB 957. We'll confirm. I don't know if you do show notes, but I'll get that
Yeah.
confirmed. So if they have me come back, I'll make sure that I can hit into it a little bit deeper. But I'm almost positive. And yeah, it just went through 8-1. I know Scott Wilk, who's one of the state senators out in the Antelope Valley, so he's pretty close to us. He's yelling, "Hey, if you're a parent, if this thing passes, get your kids out of the state."
Jeez.
I mean, it's that bad. So
That's horrifying.
yeah,
So we got to do this, people. We have to. We have to stop this kind of crap.
yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
and be involved. Get your voice heard. Like I said, there's about 6 in the assembly that are certifiably crazy. And aside from that, there's the people that go along with them, and there's the people that resist. And if you can find a way to magnify the voices of the people that resist, great. And if you can find a way to turn a couple of the people that support them, get out there and try to do that, because otherwise these things will just slide through. They will take the path of least resistance every time. And if you guys are making your voices heard and telling them, hey, we're going to protest this bill, we're going to make all kinds of noise if you push this thing through, we're going to support whoever runs against you, Democrat or Republican, we're going to all these things, that pressure will get to them. They'll hear it. And this isn't something that is a big budget bill for them where it's an automatic rubber stamp. This is something that is, this is
Yeah.
a culture bill for them. So you might be able to turn them on it. I know that we're going to do our best to try.
Beautiful. I love it. I love everything. Now, can people find you on Instagram or something like that? They want to have questions for you or anything, about this?
Yeah, so I'm still pretty active on my Instagram. It's Just Vote Bro, which is pretty easy to find.
Nice.
You can look up my name. It's Cole, Cole, Brocato, Brocato. That's the Just Vote Bro.
I love it.
But yeah, follow me on Twitter. I'm on Getter. I'm on Truth. I'm on Instagram. I don't think I've been kicked off Facebook this week, so I'm pretty sure I'm there.
There you go.
But yeah, just get connected, stay involved, and let's go save our state.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, guys, I encourage you to follow him and keep up with everything what he's doing. It sounds fantastic. Cool, amazing. Again, I love what you're all about.
Thank you.
You're very pleasure to talk to about things like this. It's great to have like-minded people, in the same arena.
Yeah, and there's a lot of us. Talk to your neighbors, people. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
they're there. You have hidden conservative neighbors that you never knew existed, and
That's
you
true.
could be their strength. You could be their courage by just coming out and saying hi. Plus, I got plenty of liberal friends that thought they were liberal friends until they started hanging out with me and talking to us and my family and
Uh-huh.
everything about the stuff that we were involved in. They're like, I didn't know my party thought that. I just always voted Democrat because I was told to
Exactly.
always vote Democrat.
Because they don't know, and the knowledge is key.
Right.
And you're right about that. We have friends too that were on the left, and as we start talking to them, all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, I didn't know that." And they're now they're on the right now. You
Yeah.
know?
Turns out they were on the right the whole time. They just didn't know.
Exactly. They didn't know it because again, it's the media and it's everything else. It's just they just don't know.
Yeah.
They got to be educated.
Yep.
That's what it's all about. Well, Cole, again, I really appreciate you coming on the show. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Been
Thanks
a-
for having me.
Been amazing. Again, I would that bill that you're talking about. If something happens or whatever, I'd like to have you come back to talk about that.
Absolutely.
That's very important. That's really important to our
Yeah.
state. No question about it. All right. Thanks again, buddy. And hey, you know what I mean? Keep rocking the long hair, right?
Oh, I will. It's not going anywhere. And hey, in regard to that bill, in regard to all the nonsense that they do, you're an American, people. If you're here, you're listening, you're an American. I will not comply is a saying for a reason. So
That's it. Right there. Everyone, that's our show for today. You can find us on Instagram at openarms.tv. Go to our YouTube channel, Open Arms TV. Subscribe, comment, give us your opinion on this show. Give us a comment if you want to be on the show. And until next time, always remember safety, family, and the Second Amendment. Have a good day.